I'm on TikTok. I have a TikTok account with 400,000 followers. I'm not like, I don't consume. I'm happy to report. I'm not like sitting there watching videos all day.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
Yeah. But well, what happened was I have a staffer who runs my account and said, "Hey, do you want to put out a farewell to TikTok message? Because a lot of people are putting that out when it's being banned." And I was like, "No, because I do not think it's going to be banned." And then the person asked why, and I said, "Number one, it's because all of these people who are on TikTok are super pissed, and our political class really, they have no backbone. It's like if people are pissed at them, they're like, oh, okay, okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
like even if I did vote for that legislation, like let's make you happy because I don't like people mad at me." But the other thing I thought was that it's a massive bargaining chip for Trump. Like if they actually just turned it off and banned it, then and then Meta had its like TikTok replacement, probably called Instagram.
Yeah,
um,
reels.
then Trump doesn't get any bargaining power or money from that. But if he doesn't ban it and it's out there and he's like, hey, I'm going to find a buyer, maybe like create the sovereign wealth fund, then there's money in it for him, or at least power. And so he'd prefer that path because it's just purely transactional and like it's not about like privacy or kids' data or their mental health. So I was like, they're not banning it. It turns out that I think I was largely correct.
Yeah. Well, it was essentially like a way to get President Trump into the zeitgeist of a bajillion TikTok users, right? Because that error message that came up was like, oh, I screen grabbed it. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was like President Trump is like working on this, right? And then like a few hours later, TikTok is back. So it's like, it all seems like it's just like a show, in a sense of like power or of,
What's interesting though, Joe Ling,
perceived power.
is that the legislators were sincere. I think when they passed the ban, they were like, "This is a
Yeah, of course.
problem. We're going to ban it." And then,
And remember who started all of this? Who started all of this? Remember the first, no one, the funny thing to me, and even as a journalist, like our brains are so full of information, things are coming so fast and furious, and it's crazy right now. But like the first Trump administration, it was all about the TikTok ban towards the end of the first 4 years. And so it is just wild to me that you fast forward, you've got President Biden for 4 years now, President Trump is back, that this is being done again. It comes as no surprise, of course, but like it's just fascinating how short our memories are when it comes to, something that is so essential to so many people's lives, like social media, right? Like this all began during the first Trump administration.
wow,
And
time flies.
then I'll never forget this. Trump was like, yeah, we gotta like get rid of TikTok. And so I'm reporting on all of this. And at some point, like some other major world event happens and it's like the Trump DOJ or was the FTC or some, they kind of go quiet on me. And I'm like, and I was talking to sources inside, TikTok and ByteDance. And I was like, forgive me if this is a silly question, but did they forget that they just initiated this entire situation and all of this legal battle? And the other side, TikTok and ByteDance, they were just like, we are not getting responses from the US government anymore. So it's like at the convenience of President Trump, it appears that this entire controversy ebbs and flows.
Well, you were referred to a Little Red Book, and that there was this moment when people thought TikTok was going away, when people were switching to Little Red Book, even though that's very natively Chinese. I mean, even
Yes.
like the name is based on Mao's Little Red Book.
Right.
And there were a bunch of Americans who were jokingly like, I pledge allegiance to the Little Red Book. It just goes to show how little people care about who's getting their data, like the national entities. It's like as long as I get my
or whether or not they can even be understood by millions of people who use that current app. Like I had so many friends that they were posting and they were getting like comments in Mandarin. They'd screenshot them because I didn't put Little Red Book on my iPhone, and they'd screenshot it, text me, and be like, Joe, what's this say? Translate it for me. And I was like, oh, this really is like, people don't care. They just want to be seen.
Yeah.
Is that it? Like,
yeah, it's just plugging into their brainstem, where
yeah.
you get dopamine hits
Totally.
based upon responses. I'm really glad I was a functional adult before all this stuff came along. Feel for the
Oh my
kids.
gosh. Yes.
I'm sure you'll, keep your girls away from it for a while. Anxious generation and all that.
It's all very, very intimidating to me, though, because I feel like the more you know about it, the worse it weighs, like the heavier it weighs. But I agree. I think most Americans do not fundamentally care who has their data or where it goes, because we have been conditioned as a society to just release it. Like, think about all of the credit card breaches and all of the payment breaches over the years. Like, there's some crazy stat out there that is like, the vast majority of Americans have had their private information hacked, right, and stolen in some way, not just Equifax or the Target hack or whatever. It's like, it's out there. So it's like, most people probably just like, well, it's already out there.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified every time a new episode drops. Thank you.